Hey everybody, and welcome back to the 1902 Farmhouse renovation project. And yesterday was cool and breezy, and I got out here and dug a trench in front of the porch. It's about 18 inches wide, thereabouts. Maybe it gets a little wider up here, but the depth changes as well. It's not as deep. Down there it gets deeper. So what I'm going to do is I'm having an issue with chipmunks. I don't know if y'all can see, but right in there is a hole going through the block, and that allows water to run underneath the slab here. So I'm going to pour concrete in here and try to do away with that issue. So another thing it's going to allow us to do is put thicker posts on the front. These little 4x4 posts, there's just barely enough room for them on the slab. You see, so I can actually add another plate, top plate, or whatever you want to call this plate here, and put a 6x6 and maybe make it a decorative, maybe with a little bit of brick around the bottoms. I was going to go ahead and form up and pour a walkway right here. Got some gravel put out. I don't know if I showed y'all that. Got that azalea pulled up. We're going to transplant it this evening. It'll sit right there. Lots of roots. Got some boards. Got some boards out here at the building. We're going to form up, get some concrete poured in the building, hopefully in another day or two. So I'm never really formed up any boards for anything like this. So I thought I could use my laser level, but it's too bright out here. I can't see it. So I'm just going to use my 3-foot level, and I can already tell that this slab is sloping towards the end, this is what you want. You don't want it sloped this way. So it's already sloping that way, so we want to continue that slope on over. We don't want it to level out. So I'm thinking maybe about a 1/2 inch drop between this edge and that edge, over 18 inches. Now what I've got here for boards, I've got a 2x10, I got a 2x12, and I got a 2x6 and some 2x4s. I think I'm going to start with 12, then 10, and then 6, and I may end up having to have some 4s down here. It depends on how long I can go. I'm going to go ahead and cut off this 2x12, whatever this end is going to be right here. Got some pins to hook them up good. It's windy today, but it's nice. It's about 60 degrees. Beautiful weather, windy. I don't know how the audio is going to turn out, but I thought I might set you up, and we'll go through all this forming up, and then when we get ready to pour, I'll bring you back if I can. My wife's supposed to help me with the pour, so she does not want to be on video, so if I can't bring you back, I apologize now. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so arbitrarily I picked this width because there was no reason to come way on out here. The drip line is roughly right in here, but we'll have a gutter up, so hopefully that won't be dripping. Right now what I need to do is find the average width right here, and it looks like 18 inches, so it's probably going to be about 16 inches. So I need to cut a board. If it's 16 inches, inch and a half less than that would be 14.5 inches. So I'm going to cut one of these 2x12s 14.5. Okay, change of plans. We're going to cut it 16 inches, and we'll screw it right in to the side. So 16, 16, Not ideal. This probably ain't the best way to square it up. I gotta find my level. So, 'cause I don't have a square to go across this board, I'll just use my level. Alright, so we'll cut this off. Alright everybody, I hope the audio was good, but I know it's windy. So what I've done is I went inside and I got a piece of 3/4 inch board, and I'm going to set on top of this one, and I'm going to get it where this is level with the concrete, and then we'll pin it and we'll put a screw in it. So that's almost level. It needs to come up a little bit to be level. Measure over 16 inches. That's right there. And we're going to put a post in right here. Make sure we got a hole. Of course, I left a hammer down here. Safety glasses on when I hit metal. Now, what I'm going to do is check it. I'm going to pick it up a little bit. I'm going to put me a screw in it. Now I've got to set another stake right here. Put another on the other end down here, 16. Get them level. And luckily, it looks like where this thing ends is where the dirt kind of starts humping up a little bit. So hopefully we're not going to be too high here. We'll see. I'll check that right quick. So right there is level. So if we put this on here, we are almost level. Actually needs to go down, now it needs to come up a little bit to be level. So I'm thinking that's going to be pretty close. Let's see where 16 comes to. What that look like? Yep, it's slanting downhill right here. But yeah, that's almost perfect right there. It's almost perfect level with a 3/4 inch drop. Alright, so down here on the end there's some concrete in my way, so I had to cut this one off a little short, and I couldn't really measure it too good, so I cut it off, and I'm going to have to cut it off a little bit more to get it exact. So let's go over here and make sure we got 16 inches from edge to inside edge here. And we don't. There's 16 inches. Cut off too much. Alright everybody, I have got it completed. And I don't know if anybody caught the mistake I was making, but I did catch my own mistake. Down here at the end, I went 16 inches all the way to the outside edge. And then here I went 16 inches to the inside edge. So I had to go back and move everything over 1.5 inches. Went ahead and secured all the seams with a, doesn't have 2x6 and the other one's a 2x4. And I don't know why down here, but I didn't dig far enough back, and when I started, I just started here on the edge, but I didn't really catch the entire edge. I'm like about 1.5 inches being all the way to the true edge. But I'm not going back over it again. It's just going to have to live with it. I do want to take a grinder and grind off this old paint that's on this concrete, where this new concrete will bond to it a little better. And I think everything will work out. There's some pretty good sized holes. I may end up having to take some dirt or something to fill in. I might can just take my trowel and chop it off here and over here, and down here at the bottom I'm probably going to put a little dirt. I don't know if y'all can see it. There's a lot of space at the bottom of this board here, so I'll probably just backfill it with a little dirt. And this one's on the ground, that one's pretty much on the ground, so this is the only one that I'll have to backfill. So I think it turned out okay for the first time. We'll see how it looks when we get it poured, and I'll bring you back. I'm not putting any rebar in this. It's going to be pretty thick pour. It's not going to be too much weight on it, so I'm not even going to pin it to this new concrete. Hopefully it won't sink. Like I say, only half the post will actually be on. The rest, the other half will be on the old slab. And so now I'm going to go out here to the shop and lay these 2x6s out. I'm going to have to move some gravel over here to get it leveled out, I think. But once we get those leveled and pinned, I end up with one extra pin over here. And where's she at? There it is. I got 2 pins out there, so I wish I'd got a few more. But these things is almost $5 a piece, so $40 worth. It was over $40. Probably about $50 altogether. But it'll be nice to put one in the center of these long boards. But I think these 2x8s and 2x10s and 2x12s, I believe they're plenty strong for what I want. And I don't think I'll have any issues with this little bit of area right here. So I'll bring you back when we get the concrete poured. I don't know if I'll film it, like I said earlier, but we'll see what it looks like. Alright everybody, we got the concrete poured yesterday. It's set. I did film it, but there wasn't very many parts of that video that just showed only me doing the work, so we had a lot of help out here. None of us knew exactly what we was doing, and so it didn't really turn out as the way I was envisioning it. It didn't actually go all the way to this it didn't have no slope here. This is pretty much level. And I got to get the forms down today, but that was here. I did use a screed that I had bought on Amazon and a float. The screed worked great, and I'll post a link to that in the video in the description. But that float, it was a little bit aggravating to use. This a little bit unlike the float I had used in the past. It was straight edged instead of turned up where you could really, you know, go out through there. You had to be pretty much close to it. So of course now we wasn't expecting a smooth polished finish on this floor. This was just something we threw down so we have a good solid floor to walk on and to store stuff in. So in that regard, it turned out pretty well. They did seem to put a lot of water in it. You know, I had bought plasticizer and fiber. We end up with a lot of water. So I think that's what these marks are, all water. I don't know what makes these marks here, but, and of course we didn't put as much in here as I'd hoped for. I don't think it's about 2 inches. We got a pretty good little step down. I was hoping we'd come all the way to the tops of these 1x4s. As you can see, we only got really at halfway, if that. Some places here we got a little better, but it is what it is, and it'll be fine for what we want to do with it. Like I said, it's just storage. It's not going to park anything other than maybe a lawnmower. But this stuff's thick. I would say at least 4 inches in here. Down here on the edge, it's probably about 8 inches. And I tried to level it up going this way. I don't know how level it is that way. It looks pretty level. It looks pretty level across there. And of course it's lumpy. Got some waviness to it. I will say that I will never do concrete slabs again. And for anybody that does these for a living, I've got mad respect. That is a lot of work, even with people helping spread it out. I was doing the screeding and the floating myself, and just the screeding was hard enough. Yeah, so unfortunately I wanted to come in here yesterday evening and try to polish it out a little bit, but I'm glad I didn't, because here's where I did some from the edge, and maybe this stuff will dry out and go away, I don't know, but I think I did more harm than good, really. But I did go around the edges as best I could. Got this fairly flat, you can see. That's a 2x6 and a 2x4. That's how high that is. So that's 5.5 and 3.5 is 9 inches thick right there on that corner. And these boards wouldn't level. In other words, to level, this board would come way up here. So I know it's got a slope this way, but there was no way I was going to put enough in there to level this floor out. It sloped all this way, the whole building did. So anyway, I think the plans are now, instead of putting a roll-up door at this point, because of the way the world is right now, having to order one and all that, I think I'm just going to build a double door like I have on my other buildings, and we're not going to worry about a walk-through door. That'll save about $200 something right there. We'll just go ahead and block this up. We'll block this up here and here, stud it out, hang a couple of double doors. It'll be small. We'll move up to 6 foot wide, be plenty wide enough, and finish out this. We'll put plywood and a house wrap on it, and then same way with this little side building, and we're going to run electrical. I've got to cut down this flowering tree right here, and we'll run electrical from the house over. So that is in the future, hopefully near future, because we really need some storage So until next time, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you hadn't.